Defilement comes from within.
Oh, wow. And this is Mark 7.
Mark 7.
Yeah.
Then the Pharisees and some of the scribes came together to him, having come from Jerusalem. Now, when they saw some of the disciples eat bread with defiled, like people, that is, with unwashed hands, they found fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they wash their hands in a special way, holding the tradition of the elders. When they come from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they wash. And there are many other things which they have received and hold, like the washing of cups, pitchers, copper vessels, and couches. Then the Pharisees and scribes said to him, why do your disciples not walk according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? He said, why do you have a bunch of children in tow? What
Oh,
are they doing?
what did they
Control your children, please. They're making people uncomfortable.
do?
He answered and said to them, well, did Isaiah prophesy to you hypocrisies as it is written? This people honors me with their lips, and their heart is far from me, and in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, you hold the tradition of men, the watching of pitchers and cups, and many other things you do. He said to them, all too well you reject the commandment of God that you may keep your tradition. For Moses said, honor your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But say you, if a man says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is Corban, that is a gift to God, then you no longer let him do anything for his father or his mother, making the word of God of no effect through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such things you do. So it's like even the
He's
teachings of the Pharisees is bringing people away from the like following the word.
they're adding, I think they're adding to, they're doing their tradition. Some of the stuff has become tradition as opposed to what God told them to do, and then they're forcing people to do it.
Yeah,
And then in 10, he's talking about honor your father and mother, and that is, one of the commandments.
right.
And but he's saying, they're saying that if a man says to his father and mother, whatever profit you might have received from me, that they're really kind of disrespecting their parents, right? They're saying it's a gift of God that I'm here, but
Right.
they're not honoring their parents, which we honor them even. I mean, sometimes maybe our parents don't always do the right thing, but we honor them because God said it, because of the position, right?
Yeah.
So,
And other things. I mean, there's
and
a
other things.
whole
I don't
religion.
mean in a thing, but I mean I know sometimes it is hard because not everyone has parents, but then we have to see what God tells us to do to the best of our ability. I don't he will,
But he's saying the traditions are getting in the way of actually following the word.
yes, because in that respect he's right. Exactly. You're
So
not
when,
the tradition in that case for the parents is not going along with the commandment to honor them. It's really like forgetting them kind of.
right.
So if your tradition, is making you not think about the commandment, then that's where he's calling them hypocrites, I think.
Right.
And then they're giving people a hard time about following their tradition when it wasn't really what God said.
Right. That's just what the Pharisees had.
Yeah. And maybe their tradition, some of them are good, but that doesn't mean you have to.
Well, what is good, right? What is good? If it
But yeah.
good ultimately leads to bad, is it really good?
Mm. I mean, like the washing of the hands, in a way, it seems like
I,
not a bad thing, but at the same time, I know what you mean. You still, we still have to be open, open to not criticizing people if they don't have that same.
no. So when he had called all the multitude to himself, this is after he said that,
Yeah.
he said to them, hear me, everyone, and understand. There is nothing that enters a man from outside which can defile him, but the things which come out of him, those are the things that defile a man. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. When he entered a house away from the crowd, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. So he said to them, are you thus without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from an outside cannot defile him? Because it does not enter his heart, but his stomach, and is eliminated, thus purifying all foods? And he said, what comes out of a man, that defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of a man, proceeds evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murderers, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All the evil things come from within and defile a man. Right, it's not about what you eat, it's about what you say.
And do right. And that's what he wants them to really concentrate on, right?
Right.
That
Yeah,
really,
we're not talking about apples and oranges. We're talking about conversations and actions.
yes, the heart of the matter, maybe.
Right.
That's coming from the heart. Don't worry what's in the stomach.
Don't worry.
The acid got that right.
Right.
That's pretty it's a pretty good description of what you learn in science. What the stomach, right?
Right.
Just purifying all food. Hello, doggy. No. Wow. So that is a cleansing, some cleansing thoughts.
Mm.
Maybe peaceful, or is there more in that thing?
Um, I mean, it
There's
is,
another parable, right? There's another lady that we know.
it makes sense, right? And it is, because a lot of people will think like what they put into themselves. That's not how I would thought about it. But yeah.
I mean, it's not like what you eat isn't important or anything, but he's really talking about
Well, he's saying the unclean
spiritually.
hands, if you eat food with unclean hands, you are unclean. But he's like, nah, dude, what you're saying is unclean.
Right. Be careful what you have in your heart. That's what you need to worry about.
All right. You guys are worried about the wrong things. But we'll find some peace.